rule. Only the ref or doctor can stop it. The fighter cannot be saved by the bell in any round. The fight is official after the start of round 6. Michael C. Williams will give us the official introductions here in just a moment as Diaz and Bracero get ready to square off. In anticipation about Diaz, he has been in 2 Olympics and did win gold in 2008. Just the second Dominican athlete to win an Olympic gold medal, joining Felix Sanchez, who won a pair of golds in track and field. And there is the very focused Diaz. Now, here's Michael with the official introductions.
Premier Boxing Champions now features 10 rounds of boxing in the junior welterweight division. The judges at ringside are John Basili, Waleska Roldan, and Robin Taylor. And the referee in charge of the action is Arthur Mercanti. And now, introducing first, fighting out of the red corner. He wears the black trunks with red, blue, and silver trim. His professional record, 23 victories, just 1 defeat, with 4 wins by way of knockout. From right here in Brooklyn, New York, introducing Gabriel Tito Bracero. And across the ring, his opponent tonight fights out of the blue corner. He wears the red, blue, and white trunks. His professional record, undefeated with 16 victories, no defeats, 8 wins by way of knockout. Originally from Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic, he now makes his home in Brooklyn, New York, introducing Felix Diaz.
I said that earlier. You're supposed to have 2.
Yeah, he's getting the mouthpiece.
Sure, he got it. Oh, he's got it. Okay, you ready?
You got one?
All right.
Sometimes, even an Olympic gold medalist who is undefeated might forget one thing or two. And the mouthpiece isn't there in the corner of Diaz right now. So they're getting one. I guess that's something you want to bring from your own locker room, isn't it, Ray? You just don't want to be borrowing a mouthpiece.
You don't want to borrow a mouthpiece. You're so right.
I'm going to guess it never happened in your career, that you left your mouthpiece in the locker room.
Yes, I did.
When was that?
A long time ago.
Long ago.
Long ago.
BJ Flores, you ever leave your mouthpiece in the locker room? BJ doesn't want to answer.
He refused to answer.
So right now, Felix Diaz, there you take a good look at the young man who participated in the 2004 and 2008 Olympics, winning gold in 2008. Who's making his home now in Brooklyn. This is a Brooklyn guy in Bracero that is 23-1.
Let's go.
A 14-year pro.
Good evening, gentlemen.
4 knockouts.
You received the rules earlier tonight. I expect a nice, clean fight. Touch gloves, and good luck to the both of you.
Good luck. Sorry, good luck.
Good luck. Good luck.
So Diaz has his mouthpiece, and the fight is ready to begin. Bracero's one loss was to a southpaw. We'll see what difference it makes here against a southpaw that's undefeated and has that gold medal. 6th fight, 5th fight of the evening.
Break! Keep it clean, keep it, that's it.
Bracero's one of those tough, hanging-in kind of guys.
Break! 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 Oh,
When you look back at his career for this Brooklyn native. And an interesting test for Diaz.
He's trying to raise the bar here.
Let him go, let him go. Back up, hands free, come on, break. Step back on a break. Stop holding.
Oh, Diaz got that excellent amateur pedigree. You see that style of him from in the very first round. The southpaw stance, very quick hands, and looking to set up some nice punches off his body attack.
And for more on Diaz, let's check in with Chris Mannix.
Well, guys, Felix Diaz is from baseball-crazy Dominican Republic, but he was one of the few kids growing up who didn't have any interest in baseball. His reasons? He didn't like being in the sun or running. Boxing was appealing to him for a more primal reason. He just liked beating people up.
Thanks, Chris. Didn't like chasing those balls in the sun, taking a few punches and throwing more. That's okay. Oh, Diaz has knocked out 3 guys in the first round, 1 in the second, 3 in the third in his career.
Break! Step back on the break. Step back.
May find that a little tougher with Bracero. What about Diaz so far, Ray?
Well, he's very tight, compact, just trying to feel his way through here. Not too much happening in this round here, naturally. Except that combination.
You hear him chanting Tito. Bracero's fan base here. Probably walked to the arena, not too far away. Brooklyn guy. Final seconds of what has been so far a very uneventful start, as Felix Diaz is trying to stay undefeated. 16-0 as a pro. As we mentioned, 2004 and 2008 he represented his country, the Dominican Republic. And here he is, taking home the gold in Beijing. In 2008, Diaz with a dominating performance.
He really wants to win here. It's nothing like it. Gold medal.
When we met with him yesterday, he talked about how much it meant when he got back to Santo Domingo. There was a heroes parade. He was recognized by everyone. They couldn't wait to come up and hug him and say hello. Great pride in bringing the first gold medal, and only one still to that country in boxing, and the only other man to win a gold medal except for track star Felix Sanchez in the Dominican Republic. So a 2-time Olympian, and took the gold in 2008, and not long after that he turned pro at the age of 26. Did Diaz, he in the red and blue trunks against Gabriel Tito Bracero. Action picking up after a tepid start. Kenny Rice, Ray Leonard, Chris Mannix, BJ Flores, our corner analysts. We're glad you're with us here for the PBC here on NBCSN.
Watch your heads coming. Break, break, break. When I say break,
and Hall of Fame referee Steve Smoger is with us as well.
Just wanted to cite that Diaz's trainer, Joel Diaz, is a very noted, well-respected trainer, especially in the West Coast, where he trains Timmy Bradley Jr., among others. So Diaz's corner is very, very solid.
Much like being with you and Ray Leonard, I feel very comforted by that. I feel very solid hanging around you guys. And Joel Diaz, by the way, no relation to Felix.
Correct, sir.
Same surname. Right. And they work together, and they've worked together well with an undefeated pro career here. Diaz picking it up here, Ray.
Yes, he is. Well,
keep it clean.
Both fighters are loosened up. Want to win this fight.
And Bracero, who had once a long time ago as a kid, good start in his career, won some local titles, then became a New York Gold Gloves champion as a teenager.
It's time to get a little closer here, put the punches together, throwing some shots to the body. Diaz throwing that straight left hand. Effective.
Diaz now to the body with the left. And Diaz going up top. Final seconds, second round. It's picked up. Felix Diaz putting on some pressure to Gabriel Bracero. Diaz 16-0 and going to work.
Linsmith, stay with the rhythm that you're doing. Beautiful. Let's go. Double up, step with the jab.
And the Gabe Bracero corner, Tommy Gallagher telling him to pick things up. As round 3 starts, Diaz picking up the pace in that second round. He in the red and blue trying to stay unbeaten against Bracero, who is 23-1. That one loss coming to a southpaw, and Bracero getting that last round unofficially from Steve Farhood. Let's check in with Chris.
Tommy, what do you want to see out of Gabe here?
I'd like to see Joe Louis right now. But what I'd like to see is that he come back with the left hook. But he's fighting smart.
Does he need to put more pressure on? A lot of pressure being applied by Felix in this first few rounds.
I don't care how much pressure he puts, as long as we don't get hit with any of those shots. I just want him to use the jab, wait for the shots to open up, hit him with the right hand, the left hook, and then move away.
Thanks, Tommy.
Tommy Gallagher, quite a story there. I mean, this is old school. Eating some raw steak, eat your steak medium rare, and get in there and throw some punches. Talk about Jack Dempsey and the guys, Steve. He was a contender. I remember the days of Tommy Gallagher.
That's right.
What a tough fighter he was.
Yep. And a great trainer.
Sugar, he's got a pretty tough fighter here in Bracero.
Yes,
he's bringing it to Diaz as Diaz counters back.
That's it, hands free.
Approaching a minute to go in round 3. Scheduled for 10. BJ Flores, what are you seeing so far?
Well, you know, Diaz obviously is a good amateur prospect, but he's still got a lot to learn in the professional ranks. He's fighting a kid who's, you know, tough and very strong on the inside, but he's smothering himself too much. He's not able to land anything clean to the body and, you know, just making a lot of, you know, I don't want to say juvenile, but a lot of rookie mistakes in there. So when you get a guy like Bracero in front of you, you just want to make sure that you do certain things and keep that space to be able to land longer punches like that. Good shot by Diaz.
Stop holding.
Diaz trying to come back here and pick up the pace.
Okay, break.
It has gotten lively after that first round.
They felt each other out, man. They know the power of each other, speed.
They fouled it out. Now they're getting down to the blows in the final seconds here of round 3.
Time.
Gabe goes back to his corner and gets some more instructions from Tommy Gallagher.
Step with the jab, babe. Look at me for a second. You got to step with the jab. You're doing beautiful. He's fighting spots. Yes.
Oh, you're the corner there. You see Bracero, who is very much close to even here with Diaz. When we look at the unofficial stats here, the CompuBox does a great job providing us. But Bracero has come out with an arsenal of his own that may have surprised Diaz, Ray.
Especially with the left hook. He's been dropping that thing on pretty cool.
And And there's Diaz with one of his own. What people are used to seeing.
Si me sigue dando una galleta. Te voy a dar una galleta. Vamos. Vamos.
Suck it up.
And welcome back in here to live action in round 4. The Premier Boxing Champions on NBCSN. This one is wrapping up the night, and what an exciting night it has been here in Brooklyn. 5 live fights on NBC and NBCSN. It's our second installment of the PBC on NBC, and they're closing it out strong. Felix Diaz, the Olympic gold medalist from the Dominican Republic, who now makes his home here in Brooklyn. He is in the red and blue. And Gabriel Bracero, who grew up on these streets and is fighting before a home crowd that's been cheering him on. And plenty to cheer about as this fight is warmed up.
Break! Break! Step back now. That's it. Nice.
Bracero's a tough guy.
Very tough guy. He holds his own.
I think Diaz has hit him with some shots that maybe in the past would have rattled an opponent or two.
That's it. Break. That's it.
And when Diaz comes in, Bracero has had some pretty good counters here in this fight, Ray.
It's all about timing, too. These guys, they know each other now. They felt each other out, and they want to win.
Watch your heads now.
Bracero with a tough background. He was incarcerated for a period of time, released in January. He doesn't make any excuses for the past. That was January of 2009. And he turned pro at the age of 20. So that time away, he is back. He has been fighting tough. And he's a tough guy. Bracero looks like a little blood to cut now on Bracero as Diaz has been able to land a punch in there. It's opened it up. Some blood there on the C on the left side of his face. And Diaz, have we seen moves like that before? What's he trying to pull there, Sugar Ray?
A little entertainment.
A little entertainment in the final seconds of round 4. That gets the crowd all pepped up again.
Look out. Time.
And round 4 comes to an end.
So we got him.
You're in good hands, my man.
You're not coming back with the left hook, Gabe. That's the only thing you're doing wrong.
Told me to watch out for the left hook, I believe Tommy Gallagher said.
Yeah, let him spit. Hold it.
Now, let's take another look. Was it a punch or was it an inadvertent headbutt? Right there, perhaps. And then here again,
Diaz.
When Diaz, a great shot of the roundabout cam there, does a little do-si-do with him.
Well, that shows he's not tired.
So here we go back to live action in Brooklyn. Round 5, scheduled for 10. At the Barclays Center, it's been a great night of fighting on NBC and NBCSN. And Diaz in the red and blue trying to stay undefeated against a tough cookie here in Bracero, who's lost only once, and that was to a left-hander.
Stop holding. His head, bro. Let go of his head.
Bracero, I believe, was that he that said he's giving me a headbutt?
Break! Break! Listen, come here. Time limit. Come here, boys. Gonna keep this clean, okay? Stop. We're gonna keep it clean. Box. Time in.
Concise, definitive. Let's check in with Chris.
Joe, what was your message to Felix after that last round?
I told him this kid can't hurt you. Why are you giving him a break? He used to close the gap and exchange more punches. Tito is moving around, boxing. He's applying the pressure, but he's not doing enough punching ability. More activity, I need.
Felix has been applying a lot of the pressure during this fight. Was that the game plan coming in?
Yes, the plan was to break him with pressure. This guy don't like pressure, but we need more punching activity. He needs to let go of his combination a little more. He's not even tired.
Thanks, Joel.
And so he says Bracero can't hurt him, and Bracero is not known for a guy with knockouts. Only 4 in 23 victories. So that seems to be a safe assessment, I'd say, Ray. You see Diaz has landed several more punches here in this fight.
Well, that was a big shot there to his forehead.
And now Diaz moving in.
Yeah, guys, and I think Diaz having a much better round this round. He's starting to find his range a little better. Took him a couple rounds to get warmed up, but he's starting to find Bracero a little more with those left hands and right hooks to the body.
BJ, we always talk about, I mean, it's the old adage, styles make fights, and Bracero, this seems like a tough fight for Diaz from a style standpoint.
Yeah, he's tough for anybody, Kenny. He's awkward, he's very strong and rugged, he comes forward, but Diaz is starting to find his range and his spacing a little better now, and I think if he'll continue to do this, he might be able to score a stoppage in the next couple rounds. But he can't forget to use his jab and maintain that space on the inside. That's the key to being able to score the stoppage. Good body shot there.
Nice indeed. Thanks, BJ. Ray, as you talked about earlier, they can get in some more of those body shots, then try to work upstairs a little more.
You have to mix it up. There has to be a variation of punches. Work the body, then work the head, then work the head, then work the body.
Bracero bleeding on that left side. We had some exciting fights here earlier tonight on NBC, the PBC on NBC. Peter Quillen taking on Andy Lee. Quillen knocking down Lee in the first round. You thought, wow, maybe this will not go. Round 3, a controversial knockdown here. Was that a trip? As you saw him step on the foot of Lee. And Lee says it was. It was scored. The referee said it was a knockdown. And then coming back was Andy Lee. He would not be finished off, and instead, for the first time, he puts Quillen on the canvas, and it ended in a split decision draw. And then what a fight put on by Garcia and Peterson. These two guys had a lot to say at the very end. In a very close fight, a majority decision goes to Danny Garcia over Lamont Peterson. Two great fights that we've had here tonight in our main events, and then the rest of the night here we've had some entertaining fights as well. As we go in here to round 6, this one is scheduled for 10. We saw Errol Spence Jr., the Olympian, stay undefeated, as well as Marcus Brown, another of the U.S. Olympians from that 2012 team. And now we're seeing in action Felix Diaz, the gold medal winner from the Dominican team in 2008. And Steve has scored unofficially as a very close fight. And I think we all concur with that.
I would concur, yes. It's pretty close.
If we didn't, I don't think it would affect Steve in any way. I don't think we could sway his judgment at all.
I don't think so.
But this has been an interesting fight. We heard BJ talk about it. Bracero gives a lot of people trouble. Kenny Rice, Ray Leonard, Chris Felix, BJ Flores, Steve Smolger, Steve Farhood.
Let go!
And all our great crew here in Brooklyn. And now they'll separate them again.
That was a nice left hand by Felix Diaz.
And Diaz coming in now, more authority. And he's looked to slide a body shot or two in there when he can.
Hands are free. Oh, stop holding out. Break.
And they break again. It seems that it would favor Bracero to keep this fight in close and keep everything off rhythm.
Well, Bracero just want to keep it like a street fight.
Yeah.
He's really making this thing very difficult for Felix Diaz.
Stop holding.
Making him fight his fight.
And it's been mostly his fight. Tito, as he's known,
Let go of the hands.
has given trouble to Felix Diaz throughout this night. And Bracero has a very vocal fan base that stayed through this evening of fighting to cheer for him.
Stop holding.
Another warning about holding.
Bracero's really tough, though.
He's a tough kid.
Yes.
Tough kid, street kid, as we mentioned, was incarcerated.
Stop holding now.
Did 6 years in prison. Got out in 09. Says he changed things around, more of that through boxing. And he's a guy that doesn't finish fights. And he hangs around and makes it very tough. And that's what he is doing right here as round 6 comes to an end. Right now, we're seeing maybe at times a frustrated Felix Diaz against Gabriel Bracero, who has made this a close fight as we go into round 7, scheduled for 10. I don't like to necessarily assume we see, though, on Steve Farhood's unofficial scorecard that Diaz now moving slightly ahead once again after getting the last 2 rounds unofficially. But do you think it's been a frustrating fight for Felix?
I would say it is. It has been. Bracero is really just using what he has to make this fight even, if you will.
Keep it up. Keep it up. Stop holding.
BJ, what do you think about the fight?
You know, I think it's a close fight, but not so much in the fact that, you know, I've got it scored evenly. I think Bracero's making the rounds competitive. I've got Diaz ahead by 2, maybe 3 rounds, but it's definitely a competitive fight, and I think there's a difference between a competitive fight and a close fight. So, you know, I got Diaz ahead, like I said, but, you know, Bracero's definitely given a very game effort.
Let go, Tito. Let go of the arm. That's it.
Bracero warned about holding on. Diaz, half of his wins have come by way of knockout. So he's a guy used to going the distance as well. Although he's only gone 1 time past 8 rounds. And he won that fight, of course, as undefeated fighter coming in.
Go ahead, box. Come on, let's stop showboat.
Well, they've said that to him, but maybe I don't know if he's trying to entice Bracero to come in a little early, or if he's keeping himself, wants to get the audience back into this fight a little bit.
It's a little frustration, too, because he's not being able to land too many clean shots on Bracero.
It's 12:45 here in Brooklyn.
Come on, boys, let's go.
Diaz wants to make sure, hey, stay awake here. Like BJ said, this is a very competitive fight. And if Bracero, who is 2-1 after going 8 rounds, has some punching power left, he's trying to show it right now. It's a good time to do so.
It was a good exchange from both fighters.
And again, they'll toe-to-toe and take a few swings.
Work out. Let go now. Let go of the hands. Let go of the hands.
Picking up the action late here in the round.
Nice round. Nice round.
And that was like our cab ride over here earlier today. Just like that. We zipped right across the Brooklyn Bridge. We got here. We were ready to go, Ray.
Yes, we were.
How about that? Hold on to your seats. You know, some people think we sped that up, but, you know, we've been in a few of those cabs.
We need this.
There you see the power punches. Diaz, 88-54. You heard Gallagher in the corner right there. Bracero say, we need this. I think that's kind of sums it up. There's Felix Diaz, Olympic gold medalist 2008, Dominican Republic, trying to stay unbeaten, 16-0. 8 wins coming by way of knockout, and here we go into the 8th, scheduled for 10. Diaz in the red and blue.
Diaz now is really trying to pressure Bracero now. Trying to walk him down.
Let go of his hand, that's it. Watch your head, watch your head. You're holding.
Let's check in with Chris.
Tommy, heard you say after that last round, we need this. How far behind do you think Tito is here?
I don't think we're behind. I just tell him that if he was winning every round, I tell him the same thing. Just need this round to keep him alert and, you know, focused, that's all. I think we're winning the fight.
How do you feel about the way the fight's gone for him?
I think it's fine, but, you know, he's trying to make it too complicated. It's just very simple. Just use the jab and wait to the right hand. That's all day. That's all he should be doing. Is trying to fight with him and rough with him. But, you know,
Tito's obviously the more experienced fighter. Can he take advantage of that?
The most experienced fighter is the other guy. But you know, he's doing what he has to do to win this fight.
Thanks, Tommy.
Bracero has been away a long time. 2013 was the last time he fought. That was a 10-rounder. And then Diaz, the last 2 times he's fought, 8 rounds and 10 rounds in his fights. So these guys are used to being around at this time in the game. Again, Bracero coming off a layoff. Minute to go here in the 8th. And the Sing Sing chant of Tito. Andre Durrell will be in action May 23rd on NBC against James DeGale. Will be in Boston for that action. Be sure to join us.
Let go, Tito. That's it. Break! Break. Let go ahead.
One thing about Bracero, you know, he's been inactive. Wow.
And Bracero is knocked down. Late power shown here.
7, 8. Come to me, Tito.
Yeah, let's go.
Suck it off.
Let's go.
And Diaz with the knockdown in the 8th.
Stop holding.
And he's feeling it.
Let's stop our fight. Fight.
Diaz trying to swing to the bell.
That's it. Keep it cool.
Take another look at this. Diaz, he has had 1 knockout past the 3rd round. That actually happened in the 8th. And here in this 8th, he sends Bracero with that wicked left to the canvas. Another look at it, Ray Leonard.
Beautiful, straight left hand. Did the damage, put him down. Another shot here. Well executed punch.
And that's what you talked about. Keep working that body, get him looking in that direction.
It's all about surprise.
And as we noted with both these gentlemen, not known for great knockout power, Diaz has 16 wins, 8 by knockout. Bracero with 23 wins, only 1 loss. That was to a left-hander. And he has only 4 knockouts in his career. Steve Farhood's last scorecard, Diaz with that knockdown wins it 10-8.
Diaz now is really putting his punches together. Compact. Trying to land that solid shot. Becoming aggressive. Taking the fight to his man. Doing the right thing.
The only time that Bracero was down was in his loss to Corley, the left-hander. And Bracero has never been knocked out. Power punch punches. That was all Diaz, 21-6, including the big left that sent Bracero to the canvas. And Bracero trying to close out strong against Diaz now more than ever after being knocked down. Let's check in again with Chris.
Joel, it's been all Felix the last round and a half. What's changed out there?
Well, I had to talk to him a little hard on him because, I mean, he's not giving me what I'm asking him to do. I'm telling him to let go of that left because he's very effective with it, but he's holding it back. When he lets go of that left, he'll do some damage. For example, there it is again. He needs to let loose of the left hand a little more.
He's putting a lot of pressure on him. How's that conditioning for?
Oh, his conditioning is great. He has great. He's not even tired. I mean,
Steve unofficially has Diaz winning the last 4 rounds. And, of course, that 10-8 with the knockdown in that last round, Ray. And Diaz has been doing some of the things you said he needs to do from the start of this fight. He's picked up the pace in the late stages.
He's really putting his punches together. But that left hand, I like what Joe said. That left hand is really effective. Let's throw more of it. And follow it with a hook. Not just one punch.
And Bracero, who lost to DeMarcus Corley January 21st, 2012, the only loss of his career. That was a decision that went 10 rounds to decide it. And here we are in round 9 of this one, scheduled for 10. And it's been Diaz's fight the last half, if not more, in control, including that knockdown in round 8. Nearing the close of round 9. He's knocked him down again with the left. Diaz again delivers. And Bracero is wobbly-legged and trying to hang on here. Can't be saved by the bell. He says he's good. But he was rocked. And charging in Diaz, hoping to finish it. But that time the bell ends the round 9. And a good time for Bracero to get that round over with. He was popped.
Come on, talk to me. How do you feel?
Where are you, son? I'm good. Where are we? I'm in the ring. Where? With Tommy Gatling, go right here. All right.
Okay, that's good to hear. Let's take a look at this knockdown, the second one by Diaz, Ray.
A picture-perfect left hook. Isn't that wonderful? I mean, he set his man up. Kept the punches short, compact, and powerful. Results, that's what you get. Come on. You know, once he gets the momentum going, you don't let up. Once you hurt a man, you never let him go.
And that's Diaz's plan, except the round came to an end right after the 8 count. And now we go into the 10th and final round. Bracero has been knocked down twice in this fight. The last one, 10-8 round again. Unofficially from Steve Farhood, and now the gaps widen, we feel, with Diaz comfortably in the lead here going into this last round. Well, and Bracero had the rubber legs, too, going there, didn't he, near the end of that round?
He's not totally clear-headed yet. Diaz is doing the right thing.
Keep it clean now.
Stay on tack. Stay on top of him. Smother him. Throw punches. You see, he goes to the body. That's a smart thing. Go to the body, which brings the hands down.
And Diaz stalking here.
Last round, no holding. Come on. Break! Watch your head.
2 minutes to go in the fight. Bracero not known for late round power. If he has any left after being knocked down twice here in the latter stages of this fight, this is the time.
You know, Diaz a little armory because he threw a lot of shots that last round.
His best power punches have come in the last 2 rounds. Diaz has clearly gotten stronger as the fight has progressed. A minute and a half to go. And Diaz back on his toes, feeling confident.
Oh, I've never seen that one before.
Don't hold, Tito, don't hold.
BJ?
Diaz landed a nice counter hook in that last round, guys. I would have liked to see him come out in the beginning of this round with a little more determination, see if he can get Bracero out of there. Bracero's done some good work, but you know, Diaz hasn't really been able to put those finishing touches on and get him out of there like his corner would have hoped.
What about your assessment of Diaz tonight, Rays? You always say a fighter should learn from every fight. We've seen him score a couple of nice knockdowns here in the latter stages of this fight.
No, he's been impressive. I mean, as a feel-out process, and late rounds start coming on strong. Very impressive.
That's it.
So Diaz trying to stay undefeated, as we saw earlier tonight. Earl Spence Jr. and Marcus Brown, 2 U.S. Olympians, stay unbeaten, and the gold medal winning boxer from the Dominican Republic in 2008, Felix Diaz, closing it out here, trying to remain perfect, and another good left, just for good measure.
That's how you close the fight.
That is the punctuation on this night. Bracero knocked down in rounds 8 and 9. Diaz closing out strong. What do the judges think? We'll have their decision when we come back live to Brooklyn and the Barclays Center.
Go say what's up.
Well, it goes the distance here. Respect from both Gabriel Bracero and Felix Diaz. Diaz on the left trying to stay undefeated. BJ Flores, let's take a look back at the night and some late knockdown action by Diaz.
Yeah, Kenny, Diaz started a little slow, but he got things going later in the fight. You see a nice right jab followed with a straight left cross from the southpaw stance. Good stuff right there. Here's another look at that first knockdown. Got Bracero a little off balance, puts the measuring jab out there, nice left hook. Beautiful technique here on this second knockdown. He actually blocked the right hand of Bracero, comes back with his own left hook. Here's another look at it. Good stuff from Diaz with his back against the ropes. You see him looking, a catch counter. Beautiful shot, catches the left hand, counters back with his own left hook. Right on the point of the chin. Great accuracy by Bracero as well. Closed the fight strongly, and, you know, I saw a little more what I wanted to see out of him in the end. Started slow, got things back on track, and good win for him, Kenny.
Well, they have made the decision, the judges. Here's Michael C. Williams to read their verdict.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone the distance, we'll go to your judges' scorecards. Judge John Basile sees the fight 97-91. Your second judge, Waleska Roldan, sees the fight 96-92. Your third and final judge, Robin Taylor, sees the fight 98-90. All for the winner by unanimous decision, and still undefeated, Felix Diaz Jr.
Diaz going to 17-0, unanimous decision victory here. Those knockdowns in the 8th and 9th certainly punctuating the evening. And now Gabe Bracero, who had left, gets back in the ring and offers his congratulations in a nice sportsmanship move. And it was an impressive showing by Diaz tonight to close out this enjoyable evening of PBC on NBC. We're glad that you could be with us. Felix Diaz closing it out undefeated. That's it for Premier Boxing Champions on NBCSN. Tune in.